I'm currently trying to unlock my favourite ship in Geometry Dash, which requires a whopping 160 secret coins. So, I've started to do a little bit of map pack grinding to get some more coins, and I've started by completing every insane map pack. I'd already beaten all the packs that were rated higher than below, but let's cut the yapping and get straight to the levels. Flash is a relatively straightforward level gameplay wise that looks pretty decent for when it was released too. That is, relatively straightforward, apart from the incredibly complex arrangement of gravity portals and orbs at around 75%, but it's simpler than it looks and nothing else is difficult. Very hard can't let go is proof that even GD's greatest creators can occasionally release some duds. Created by Funny Game, this is essentially a memory version of Can't Let Go, but it's another old memory level with no real identity that just blends in with the rest. Hyper Ice Jumper has an issue that I feel like many older, especially pre-1.6 levels have. The UFO ship and ball sections are insultingly easy, while the cube pots are frustrating and unsight readable, with many blind jumps. Corrupted Kingdom is one of the most infamous map pack levels. With its incredibly tight ship pots for an 8 star, it can be frustrating. But if you go into this level with the mindset that it's a demon, which it arguably is, it's not too bad. Chronos Fantasy was a breath of fresh air amongst so many frustrating levels. Sight readable, fair, and good decoration for the time, with some cool sections inspired by Robtop levels. Funny Game did not fail to disappoint as usual. Their previous level in this video was truly an exception. Tetris Zone disappointed me a little bit, because the first quarter had some quite interesting ideas with Tetris blocks, but a lot of it had relatively standard decoration, which you wouldn't really notice with Tetris theme if you weren't told. I took a break from map packs. Coming back with funky dice was not particularly welcome. It's never a good idea to have long chains of orbs, because you often have to do it every input at a specific time, which becomes impossible to do if you do the previous click at the slightly wrong time. Tyrian Wall was the level I was dreading after the first practice run, but the gameplay became natural a lot faster than I was expecting. This is quite a bizarre level with long winding ship and ball sections and a random out of place wave section. The Cyclone pack was a lot more enjoyable than anything else I've played yet. With 3 balanced and sight-readable levels that required barely any practice, it was a stark contrast from some of the previous packs, with multiple borderline demons. It was very relieving to be playing 8 stars that didn't have to practice like a demon for once. I think this pack is slightly newer than the previous packs, maybe an update or two, so I'm assuming levels are rated slightly fairer than before. With Electro Dino X, I began to notice a little bit of a theme with the harder levels. I do a practice run, then dread playing it, and get the hang of it quite quickly. I think that my issue is that I see a couple of parts that are a bit above the difficulty of everything else and I expect it to take ages to learn. Honestly, I think I have a bit of a bad habit of thinking levels will take way longer to beat than they actually do. And that's how the 8 star map packs completed, although a lot of the levels are a lot harder than that. Now there's only 4 9 star map packs and I've already beaten one level, so there's only 11 levels left, but I'm expecting them to be a little bit more difficult. And we start with the infamous theory of relativity. This level looks incredibly strange. It was originally a 1.5 level, but it was updated in 2.0, so now every part is a weird mishmash of these 2 updates. But there were some parts that actually quite cool. I feel like this level really isn't as bad as some people say. It definitely should be an easy demon, but if you play with that attitude, it's really not that bad. Polargeist HD is made by the same creators as the previous level, and has been updated in the same weird way. But it's nowhere near as obnoxious because the changes made it less severe and there's fewer of them. Checkmate is another Funny Game creation masterclass. The iconic black and red colour scheme, Funny Game really thought outside of the box, with what must have been one of their first times 3D was created in GD. They also hoped that the pack that it was in had 3 quite easy levels. They were all 9 stars and I still finished them all in about an hour, which was a relief. We're now at the final map pack, the Funky pack. Fittingly, we start with Funky Cave, which did have a section with a pretty funky looking cave. This was followed by Hexagon Force V2, not the Neptune version, I've already beaten that, which wasn't bad, the level didn't do anything interesting. But now, we've reached the zenith of this video, and there is only one level left. And quite fittingly, it's called Zenith. I don't think that's supposed to happen. Let's try that again. Let's go! Yes. Every insane map pack completed. So, now that I've completed every non-demon map pack, what do I think? Well, they were right, but nowhere near as bad as people say. The main issue was just that a lot of the levels are quite boring, but most of these levels were released in between 1.6 and 1.8, so there wasn't really a huge amount that creators could do. But I will admit that most of the levels I beat haven't even been mentioned here, just because I have nothing of value to say about it. One weird thing was that I found the levels in the 9-star packs to be on average just as hard, if not easier than the 8-star packs. It really made no sense that levels like Corrupted Kingdom and Terrier Wall were only 8 stars. But in all honesty, none of the levels are really that hard. There are a couple of learning levels like the levels I've just mentioned and Theory of Relativity, but the hardest levels only needed a moderate amount of practice. Next up are the easy demon map packs, but I honestly have no clue when I'll get around to playing. Guess you just have to stay tuned.